So we have Ali, Nahiyan and Fahim with us. They are the founding members of Gorur Ghash. So gentlemen, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. It's a
Thank you
pleasure
for
being
having
here.
us.
So we have been hearing about you guys a lot in Bangladesh. So tell me about yourself, how you guys started your journey and how did you came up with your audience, how did you reach them and things like that.
So Gorur Ghash started back in 2014 as a poster company. We started out as a company which would sell posters online. So anyone who would want, let's say, a poster of Led Zeppelin to Spider-Man to their favorite football team, if they place an order via Facebook to us, we would take that picture, print it out, deliver it to them. So that's how we started it. It started in 2014 and until 2017 we did that. After 2017, one of my co-founders, he left and I wanted to create a clothing company. So that is when Ali and Fahim joined in and we created Gorur Ghash, the clothing company that is today. So it's been 4 years since we've been running the clothing company and we are on the rise and pretty excited about the future as well.
Okay, all right. So Gorur Ghash, that's a pretty interesting name. So who are your ideal target customers? I think you're not selling to everyone or every people in the world. So have you thought about who are your ideal customers and how do you normally segment those customers?
Well, to be honest, when we started off, it was more about bringing in clothes that we'd like to wear, things that we find trendy and new. And to be honest, Bangladesh might have a very good R&D industry, but a lot of the fast fashion products don't really hit our markets. So we wanted to bring that in. And naturally, that meant we were targeting more of the urban, fashion-savvy crowd, people around their teens or early 20s, and that's how we started off. But to be honest, as we evolved, our brackets gotten larger. We have something called Gorur Ghash Kids now. To parents out there listening to this, please buy Gorur Ghash Kids. So Gorur Ghash Kids is targeted for children, but let's say younger parents. And right now, it's not just the urban crowd. We're seeing a lot of response from remote hill tracts even, and rural areas. So right now, I guess we're more on an age-based and taste-based segmentation, like teens, early 20s, children even, and more on people who are keeping up with the latest fashion trends.
Got it. So normally when we sell product, we try to come up with a value proposition as well. Like we either try to solve a problem or we either try to find a opportunity there. So what worked for you?
Well, basically, initially, to be honest, our initial campaign wasn't successful at all. We thought that maybe we're just going to produce clothes and then post them online and people will buy it, but it didn't work out for us at all. It was a complete failure. And we weren't working on Gorur Ghash for quite some time, and then we realized that maybe why not bring out what we believe in onto the page. And so we started making humor-based videos because that is what we loved doing, and that turned out to be very successful.
All right. So urban people who wants trendy products, people who are mostly in their teens or maybe 20 to 25 years old, and then targeting with humor. So yeah, perfect match, I would say. So can you tell me a little bit more about what strategies work for you guys in terms of pushing your product to the people? Like, for example, whenever you started your Gorur Ghash, I'm sure maybe just your friends know about it. So what are the things you did to take it to the users or take it to the audience that you wanted to reach? So what worked for you in those cases?
So initially, the biggest issue that we faced was, I believe, is trust. So what the problem was, a lot of people, maybe they saw our product and they liked the product, but they just couldn't believe if the product that they would receive would be the actual one they're seeing on the Facebook page. Because there have been a lot of companies out there who advertise something, but they actually don't deliver the same thing. So we did face that. So what we did to actually counter that was we tried to work on the trust factor. So what we did was we provided free exchange and free trial policy. So what essentially, for example, you want to buy a shirt And the first thing that the customer thinks is, what if the size doesn't fit? And number two is, what if the product's actually not the right product? So what we did was, we told the customer, you can order the product, you don't have to pay anything. The product will come to your house, you'll try it on, you'll see the product. If you don't like it, just return it back. You don't even have to pay a dime. So that really worked for us. We got a lot of customers who started ordering through us, and they became our loyal customers. Word of mouth played a big role. Like Ali said, our videos played a big role. We really rode on the viral wave of the videos that we created. So a bunch of all these working out together actually helped us create a larger audience and a more number of likes on our page, which essentially led to a lot more reviews, which essentially led to more trust in the whole brand itself.
Yeah, like a flywheel, let's say. So, what are the technologies that you normally use? So, for example, are you just serving through Facebook page, or you are using any other technologies as well?
As of now, we are completely based on Facebook and Instagram. We have started seeing a lot of growth when it comes to website, because initially, I believe we started our website when
We made our website in 2018, but it was pretty hard to convince people to actually order on the website. But till 2019, we started seeing a growth. But the interesting fact here is, ever since the pandemic hit, we've seen a much bigger rise in the number of people ordering through our website. Right now, actually, we do get majority of our orders through the website itself.
Okay,
Whereas it was just the exact opposite pre-pandemic.
because people, I believe, got more used to ordering from the website, and initially people, I don't think they could trust the website as much, because people like human interaction, and which is what they were getting via phone calls, via Facebook and Instagram chat. So I believe that once the pandemic hit, people got more used to ordering through the website, so they could trust other online brands as well, because they knew that their order was in safe hands. As of now, to continue on with the answer to your question, as of now, we're also trying to move into other platforms, mainly TikTok, because we realize that the algorithm is much more user friendly, and it's going to help us a lot more.
Okay, so talking about the TikTok algorithm, so what about Facebook and Instagram? What are the changes that you're seeing in Facebook and Instagram marketing?
So, like when we started out, like if I even go back 7 years in 2014, I believe any company, any person who would want to start a business, they could just open up a page, have a few of their friends share the page, and they could literally start a business right from there. Facebook was a lot more lenient. They would show your page to a lot more people. 7 years now, like if someone, let's say, wants to start a clothing line and they want to start from scratch without any money to boost, they're gonna have they're gonna have a hard time. So in the past 1-2 years, things have changed drastically, especially on Facebook, and we are also seeing a similar thing in Instagram as well, where you would actually have to pay a lot to get interaction. Whereas, like Ali said, TikTok right now is a lot more based on likes and interests, so you don't really have to rely on paying. So maybe organic growth is a lot better at TikTok, but we're yet to actually test the waters in TikTok.
Okay, so in terms of marketing or in terms of growth, what works for you guys in future? What are the things you are exploring right now?
Well, to be frank, we're exploring more audiences. As we talked about Facebook and Instagram, it's really hard getting reach now. It's expensive. Let me rephrase. It's expensive getting reach now, and with new regulations and all that coming in, even with cross-border transactions, things are getting expensive. So right now we're primarily looking at newer audiences and also in newer product segments. So for instance, we are moving into accessories, and hopefully it goes well. So people listening to this, we have new tote bags now, buy it, please. So we're trying to figure out more product variety, more customer variety, and even a year ago, roughly, we got on Amazon US. And that's something that we haven't really driven. Explored. That's also something that we want to explore, international waters. So in a nutshell, that would be it. Newer products, newer customer segments, newer geographic territories.
And I believe that video is the future as well. You know, content creators have gained a lot of followers, a lot of audience because of the fact that, you know, they have been focusing on videos. So a lot of I can't find the right word, but a lot of high effort content, I think, is the future. And people need to, you know, diversify their portfolio if they want to survive in the future.
So the time when you started the company, I think you started it like a sidekick. You have different other businesses or activities as well. So what would be your suggestions for the newcomers who wants to go into the e-commerce industry, wants to start a business? What are the things they need to do in the very beginning?
So I feel like the biggest thing that need to keep in mind is just to get started, because it always feels like the start is the hardest part, and most of the time it actually is. But once you get started, once the wheels start rolling, eventually you learn things along the way. So things like Facebook boosting, and then Facebook algorithm, what time's the best time to upload, what kind of copy would help you get more customers, what kind of photo, what kind of photography would actually help drive in more customers. These are things you learn along the way. And like for us, we learned things along the way, and our best friend was YouTube. Like you get free content on YouTube, and you can learn things from photography, you can learn video editing, you can learn Facebook boosting, you can learn everything on YouTube. So anyone who's actually thinking of starting a business in 2021 or 2022, I feel like they just need to get started with whatever plan they have, and they just can learn along the way. And YouTube is definitely, I still feel it's very underrated because of the free content that you actually get on YouTube.
There's one other thing that I'd like to add. We were talking to another startup the other day, and he mentioned a very good point, and that is, it's honestly, startups are basically a marathon, and you just need to remember that, you know, you won't get quick results. It's going to take a really long time until you actually see the fruits of your labor. So that is what youngsters need to remember, because we've become a generation where we have very short attention span, and it actually reflects on our characters as well. So they need to remember that, you know, you need to keep going on. Don't expect money to come in right away. It takes time.
Yep. Absolutely amazing insight. So I think, thank you Ali, Nahiyan and Fahim for joining our podcast. This has been very insightful for our audiences as well. So yeah, looking forward to your growth, more and more growth.
Thank you so much.
And
It was
best
a
of
pleasure
luck
being
with your
here.
podcast as well.
Thank you.